Welcome to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
The Retro Antique and Curiosities Crawl is this Friday and Saturday. Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Embark on a shop-hop adventure designed for people to discover hidden gems in shops and communities in a well-organized and distinctive antique shopping experience. With shops in Oskaloosa, Pella, and Eddyville. For more information, find Retro Antique Tour on Facebook. Come have a fun night with the band Brass Pair performing at the Keswick Tavern this Saturday night. The band will be playing from 8 to 11 p.m. with no cover charge. The Keswick Tavern is located at 117 South Iron Street in Keswick, Iowa. Brass Pair is an Eastern Iowa rock and variety band specializing in music from multiple genres. They're going to play the big, juicy hits this Saturday night at the Keswick Tavern from 8 to 11 p.m. No cover charge.
Welcome back to the show!
Welcome back to the show!
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast. The For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Champions of the World, the Wizard CZ, and Never Wrong Nick Gold.
Hello, everybody. I am the Wizard CZ, and you are tuned in to Card Subject to Change, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. We are coming off a really big weekend here, and I just got word Never Wrong is on his way. Got a little delayed by some technical issues, but that's okay. I'll bring him in as soon as he's on. But we're going to get things started. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Ricky and Diana Lee, who hosted the Sandra Lee Memorial Car Show, the 4th annual Sandra Lee Memorial Car Show yesterday. Very excited to have been a part of that. Ricky, of course, in the comments saying, "What's up, Ricky? How you doing, my friend?" We were so happy to be able to talk to Buff Bagwell, the Headbangers, Lash LaRue, and Ricky and Diana themselves. It was a great time. If you didn't make it to the event, there's always next year, but they raised some good funds for the Autism Society of the Quad Cities. I'll let him announce that once he's got the figures calculated. I'm not going to spoil anything on their end. But it was a good time had by all. Like I said, when my tag team partner is here, I'll bring him into the room, but I'm not going to delay much longer here. Like I said, we were working through some technical issues here. We have a guest in studio, and I'm excited to bring him in. He is one half of the 319 Waterloo native and absolute pro wrestling star, Mr. Jay Wesley. Jay, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you? Pleasure to be on the show.
Hey, thanks for coming on. We appreciate that. I am going to start by asking you the same question that gets asked to all of our first-time guests, and just let you have at it. Why pro wrestling? What was it that got you hooked?
Oh, geez. Start me off with the hard questions. I see. Okay. We're going to get easier, I hope. But, man, that's a good question. I couldn't really... I don't know if there's really a pinpoint like exactly where I could put it, but my dad was into wrestling, so that's like him watching, I was watching it, sort of thing. And it just more and more we'd go to the live events in Cedar Rapids and at the Powerhouse, whatever it is now, the former U.S. Cellular Center, Five Seasons Center, whatever you want to call it. But we'd go there. There was a really cool time where actually I caught Kofi Kingston's T-shirt. Uh, it was about to land in my brother's lap, but he wasn't paying attention. He was looking at the program or something, so I snagged it. But it was just memories like that, going to the house shows and just seeing everything, and there's something that it was really special about it that I could feel like there was a passion in it, and something that really dug me in there. And as I got older, I just I dug more into it. I started to learn more about the history of it. I started to learn the not the legalities, but the rules of pro wrestling, and stuff like that. And I decided that I'm gonna be a pro wrestler when I was, 12 or 13. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. So
What?
that's kind of, I guess,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's kind of, I guess, how it kind of all came full circle into now. So
Absolutely. What was that moment that made you decide this is what I have to do?
it's some of the smaller things, and I don't even like saying it on camera because that's it's almost defeating the purpose of it. But one of the biggest things is the impact that you can put on another person. I'm gonna use John Cena as an example. Like all of those make a wishes and stuff that he's granted over the years. It's stuff like that it's stuff outside the ring that, and I don't want to do it for the fame and the publicity or anything, but being able to make somebody, or being able to give somebody the hope and passion, even if it's 1 out of 100 million people, that's what really drives me in this business.
Absolutely. And Nick has got past his technical issues. Welcome to the show,
Oh,
Nick.
I am here from the past all the way now into the future. How are you guys doing?
you
I'm great. Did you ask him the first question I always ask, CZ?
I did. I pulled the Band-Aid off right away. I'm
I'm
sorry.
glad you did. I'm glad you did. Well, I
We were
apologize for
talking-
the technical difficulties. I have landed, and here we are. We have Jay Wesley in here. We know him from Absolute Pro Wrestling. Jay, I'm going into this conversation blind because I don't know what you and CZ have been talking about.
just talking trash about you. No,
Oh, hey, that's why my ears were burning. That's why they were burning. What's the best part about being in the ring?
about being in the ring. Honestly, I mean, I feel like it's probably cornball answer, but it's honestly the fans. It's really what drives me. There was a show that I did a couple weeks ago, and it was there was a moment where I was I don't know if it was before the match or after the match, we'd won, whatever, but I was just standing on the ropes and I was just taking in all that energy. You just feel it and just goes in you and just pumps your blood, and it was something that it just makes you believe even more in what you're doing, when even if it's a crowd that is a heckling crowd or whatever, and when they're behind it, it just gives you that. So yeah, to the it's the fans for me. That energy that I get from them, that's what drives me. That's the best thing about being in the ring, outside of working with amazing guys and being able to do cool moves or whatever, or being able to tag with Ethan, stuff like that. But it's really the fans that bring everything together. So,
And on that note, it's got to be so much more special doing that in your hometown in front of your friends and family in Waterloo, right?
of course, yeah, and sometimes it's a little too much because there's some friends and family that get a little, carried away and want to bring us on, but no, Jay Wesley loves it, and it means a lot because honestly, when I started, I didn't expect a single soul in my family, didn't expect a friend, didn't expect anybody to show up at my shows, and I still do that, even though I have constant people that show up to my shows every time, and it's awesome. I love them for that. But it's just I still don't expect them to show up to every show, but I love that they do, and it means a lot to me because, like I said, it drives me even more.
So I want to kind of talk about something we talk with new guests sometimes about. I want to hear what it's like for you when you had your first match. Coming out of training, what was it like stepping in the ring that first
Look
time?
at his eyes. Look at his
I
eyes.
They caught it, yeah.
You made his eyes. You made his eyes get big.
I was gonna say, this is so. I guess so. If you go back to my first match, I trained at the Impact Pro Wrestling here in Iowa, was the Vault,
Yep.
in Collins, Iowa, and was located there. And in my class, I was one of two. So it was a very intimate class. Being able to work with James Jeffries or Travis if James wasn't there, whatever the case may be. TS Aggressor, Travis Shillington, I should say. I
Sure.
guess not everybody knows who Travis is off Travs, but uh, whoever it was, being able, it was a very intimate setting, and so our first match actually was they were doing like the local Collins Days or whatever they called it, um, where they had the parade through, and obviously the vault was right on Main Street, because there wasn't any more than Main Street in Collins, I don't think, but
Sure.
oh, so it was me and my training partner, and we worked a match in front of, like, on the first or second show, in front of a few people in the vault, and going back, I'm sure it wasn't pretty, but I'm proud of it, looking back at it, and knowing that we were able to get through it, and there's probably some times we look like idiots, but I still look like an idiot in the ring today. So
Well, there's times on this show where Nick looks like an idiot, and I forgive it for it.
Absolutely.
oh, geez.
I
Absolutely.
probably do too. I just want to throw.
And you know what? You probably felt like $1 million after that first match, and just
Yeah.
But now
Oh my
looking
gosh.
back on it, like you're so much, you're so much further down the road than that. But I
Yeah.
would have felt like $1 million if I got through, match number one.
Yeah, no, and I did, and it was, it was such like a stressful time because, like the guy that I trained with, he had missed a few weeks, and so there was some small stuff that he didn't know or that he was still trying to catch up on, and so having to, try to, James really produced that whole match. I don't like to dig too deep into the backstage, but James, there's not a lot of producing that goes on in the independent scene wrestling, but James Jeffries really stepped up in that situation because I think he could tell and see my, already being, nervous and stuff for my first match, and seeing that my opponent didn't seem necessarily ready or nervous as well, super nervous as well. So he was, so James did a really good job helping us produce that match and really getting us through it. It was something where at the time I was a jerk, but the bad guy, but it felt good, like you said, walking out and being able to walk back